Hey, this is Todd with Redeeming Dogs, and I want to talk about my new board and trained dog I just brought in. She's Chloe. I would say she's probably a poodle cross. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some schnauzer in there. And you know, she's probably a 20-pound dog. And this is the girl that when I went to pick her up yesterday, she bit me a lot. So that's why I've got my jeans and ropers on. It's my little dog armor. But anyway, when we got this dog here, I just want to kind of go through some of these things, because a lot of the dogs I bring in here don't have a lot of big time issues, but this one kind of does. Let's kind of talk through some of this stuff. So when I got this dog here, you know, she was very, for lack of a better term, you know, shocked or traumatized by the change. And you know, that's a classic hallmark of a dog that's not been socialized. So a non-socialized dog, when it goes through an environmental change or a status change or a location change, that dog will become extremely stressed. Some of the things we'll see in a dog like that are the dog won't eat, the dog doesn't want to drink, the dog may not want to defecate or urinate. And depending on the dog and how low of a level of socialization it's had, it'll take different levels of time to work through that. So, you know, a dog like this, she's not going to eat the first day, even though food's presented. She's going to just drink the bare amount she has to drink. I've had these dogs in before that they won't pee or poop for 2 days or 1 day. She urinated last night, but she hasn't done her number 2 yet. So, you know, where she's at right now, this is kind of a process. So the first, you know, 6 hours she's in, they just kind of shut down. They don't fuss much. Right now where she's at is more she's in this whining stage, so where she'll fuss and cry. Now a lot of people with an unstable dog like this, what they'll do is they'll try to talk to it and soothe the dog and comfort it, and try to explain to the dog that it's okay. And that's the very worst thing you can do, because the dog takes that as reinforcement. So right now, sort of what she's doing is she wants to go back into the house and go to her crate, because she feels safe in there. That's the one thing here that she's already familiar with. So there's a good girl. There's a good girl. So, you know, right now, that's better. Right now she wants to go back in and go in her crate. So the first few days, this dog's not going to get talked to a lot. This dog's not going to get a lot of interaction until she starts to loosen up. Because I want to be really careful I'm not reinforcing these little nervous states. Come here. Good girl. The other thing you'll see too is this very same dog that was vigorously biting me yesterday is now almost wants to cling to me when I get down next to her. So she kind of, that's another hallmark of a dog that's not been super well socialized, is she kind of goes from extremes. She's either clingy to me or she wants to eat me. You know, she has no middle ground. So part of what she's going to learn is a middle ground. Good dog. Okay. The other thing I'll use with a dog like this to kind of get her moving is something that she likes. So her owners have this little pink harness that they walk this dog in, and she has really good associations with this pink harness. When she sees the pink harness, she gets to go for walks, and there's no ambiguity. She knows when she sees that something good's going to happen. So when I started working with this dog, since dogs don't generalize, her harness is completely different than a different harness or a different leash. So I've got her harness here, and when I get her harness out, she gets very animated. So she sort of forgets that she's, you know, in a strange place, and she doesn't even have to have it on. She's very excited about this harness. So what I can do is I use this harness to get her to where I could put a collar on her and move her around. And you can see, it's funny, look at how she looks calmer just because she's got her familiar harness there. Because she has a clear association with this of walking, of going outside, of doing something, of an activity. So this can be very useful on a dog rehab if you can find some things that they really like, that they have good associations with. It can be a toy, it can be a particular harness or leash that they get walked with. You know, any of these things are an opportunity to get the dog refocused and let it know that we're going to do some work and we're going to do something. So now I can let her drag that leash, and as long as I have this harness, she wants to be around it. So now you might say, well, Todd, if she loves that darn harness so much, why aren't you putting it on her? The other thing about the harness is she has a history of when she has this harness on, she's very confident. In fact, when she's out walking and has this on, she'll bark and aggress at people and aggress at other dogs. So I really don't want that part of the behavior. I'm just trying to keep the part that she's interested in getting out and doing something. So I'm probably not going to walk her with this harness, but I am using it as a tool. It's something familiar, and she's interested in it. Good girl. So we see her mouth opening up. She's not as relaxed as I'd like her to be. The mouth is open, but there's some crying and there's some panting in there too. So I'd like to see that panting go away a little bit more. That's a stress yawn, kind of shaking off some stress. But I actually have I'm pretty confident we'll be able to shake this dog out of this weirdness. But you know, a dog that's not been well socialized as a puppy, we only get one really good shot at that in terms of it being an easy job. This dog can be socialized and be way better, but she won't ever be as socialized as a dog that got started off as a puppy and exposed to a bunch of new situations. But we'll make big time progress with her. So anyway, that's enough on Miss Chloe for right now.